What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we've got a bit of a situation here on the desk. I have basically the entire history of the modern one piece model iPhone sitting right in front of me. We're going all the way from the iPhone 11 through the 12, 13, the 15, the 16, and finally the brand new iPhone 17. Now, you might be sitting there with an older iPhone, maybe in 10R or in 11, and you're confused. Like honestly, looking at these, they all kind of look similar, right? Do you really need to spend the extra money for the 17? Or is the 13 still good enough in late 2025? So in this video, I'm going to give you a straight up honest buying guide. I'm going to tell you which ones belong in the trash bin, which ones are the best value, and we're going to break them down side by side, looking at the design, the display, performance, battery life, and cameras. And you know, we're going to talk about Apple Intelligence and why, honestly, it might not matter as much as Apple says it does. Let's just get into it. Okay, so first things first, I want to respect your time, so I'm just gonna fast forward a bit here. There are 3 iPhones on this list that I honestly just don't recommend you buy right now. I've categorized these into my don't recommend list. First up, the iPhone 11. Look, this phone had a great run, but functionally, it's outdated. It's the last standing relic of the LCD era. It's not an OLED screen, so the blacks aren't deep. The bezels are thick. There is no 5G. It's still using that old Lightning port, not USB-C. And the battery, if you buy one used, the battery aging means it's gonna drain really fast. Also, we need to talk about software. iOS 26 is likely the last huge update for this phone. That means this is the last year of massive support before it just becomes security updates. So for longevity, it's a pass. Next, the iPhone 12 and, well, I have the 12 mini here, but everything applies to the regular 12 too. Differences are just size and battery capacity. This phone, it just feels like a beta test. It was the first time Apple used a 5nm chip and the first time they did 5G. And you can tell it's fast, sure, but the sustainability and heat management are just not mature. It gets hot so easily. And you know, when a phone heats up, the battery drains like crazy. It's just not efficient compared to what came after it. Plus, the gap in camera quality between this and the 13 is actually huge because the 12 lacks that bigger sensor and sensor shift OIS. And finally, the iPhone 14. You'll notice I don't even have one on my desk, and that's intentional. I just want to explain why I don't even own it. The 14 is basically an iPhone 13 in disguise. It uses the same A15 chip architecture. Okay, yeah, it has 1 extra GPU core and 6GB of RAM instead of 4GB, but in the real world, it's not a huge leap. It still has the notch, still has the Lightning port, but the price is awkwardly high. If you're looking at a 14, just save money and get a 13, or spend a little more and get the 15. The 14 is just, it's stuck in a weird value trap. Now, really quickly on the iPhone 16, it's a good phone, but with the iPhone 17 coming out with such massive upgrades for the same price, the 16 is in a tough spot. If you want to save money, I actually think the iPhone 15 or 15 Plus is a better decision right now. The 15 Plus specifically gets you that insanely good battery life for cheaper. So that leaves us with my actual recommended list. The iPhone 13, the iPhone 15, and the iPhone 17. Let's break these down side by side, step by step. Let's start with design and display. On the iPhone 13, again I have the mini, but the regular is the same. You've still got the notch. It's smaller than the 12s, but it's there. The screen is 60 Hz. When you jump to the iPhone 15, you get the dynamic island. It's just way more modern, you know? It feels current. The back glass is frosted now, which is so much comfier to hold and doesn't collect fingerprints like the glossy back on the 13. But the iPhone 17, this is the game changer. For the first time on a base model, Apple gave us ProMotion. That's a 120 Hz refresh rate. Everything is smoother, scrolling, animations, gaming, plus the bezels are razor thin now. Basically no gap to the Pro models. If you care about the screen, the 17 is in a different league. Then there is connectivity. The 13 is still on Lightning. It's annoying if all your other tech is USB-C. The 15 and 17 have USB-C. Honestly, just being able to charge my iPad, my MacBook, and my phone with one cable, that alone makes it hard to recommend the 13 unless you're on a super strict budget. Next, let's talk camera. The iPhone 13 has a 12 megapixel sensor. It's good for social media, Instagram stories, documentation. It's totally fine. But the iPhone 15 bumped that up to 48 megapixel. This is a big deal because it allows for a lossless 2x zoom. It basically crops in on the sensor, so you get a zoom lens without actually having a third camera. And then the iPhone 17, Apple was really kind-hearted this year. We've got this dual 48 megapixel main and ultra wide, and they also upgraded the front camera to 18 megapixel with new features like center stage and dual capture. If you're a creator, the 17 is the all-rounder tool. Now, performance and software, specifically Apple Intelligence. Okay, so the iPhone 13 and 15 run on the A15 and A16 chips. They are powerful, but they don't support the full on-device Apple Intelligence features. The iPhone 17 with the A19 chip was basically built for it, but can I be honest with you guys? To me, it's not a big deal. You know, Apple Intelligence right now is still kind of like, it feels like it's in early beta. It's cool, but compared to competitors, it's still a bit behind. I usually just use alternatives that are more powerful, like Gemini or ChatGPT for my actual work. So if you're looking at the iPhone 15 and thinking, oh no, I'm missing out on AI, I wouldn't worry about it too much. The third-party apps are better anyway. Battery life. The iPhone 13 fixed the issues of the 12. It's a solid all-day phone. The iPhone 15 is consistent, gets you through the day comfortably, but if you prioritize battery above everything else, try to find an iPhone 15 Plus. That thing is a battery monster, easily 2 days with moderate usage. The iPhone 17 is great too, very efficient with the new chip, but since it has that high refresh rate screen, it balances out to be about the same as the 16, maybe a bit better. So to wrap this up, what should you actually buy? My first recommendation, the minimum. If you are on a budget, just get the iPhone 13. It is the minimum iPhone I recommend. It's mature, the heat management is good, the camera has that sensor shift stabilization, which is a huge gap up from the 12, and the price to value ratio right now is a steal. Yeah, it's Lightning port, and yeah, it's 12 megapixel, but for daily use, it's still a beast. Recommendation number 2, the smart choice. If you want something modern but don't want to spend top dollar, get the iPhone 15. You get the dynamic island, the contoured comfortable design, USB-C and that 48 megapixel camera. It feels new. The only downside is no Apple Intelligence, but like I said, not a deal breaker for me. And the ultimate recommendation, if you have the money, the iPhone 17 it's just the best base model Apple has ever made. I really believe this is going to be one of the most successful iPhones in history. They finally gave us the 120Hz ProMotion display on a base model. They doubled the base storage to 256 gigabytes, which is huge for the same price as last year. The bezel is thin. The chip beats last year's Pro Max in benchmarks. It's a total all-rounder. Unless you specifically need a telephoto lens for zooming in really far, you don't need the Pro model anymore. This is the one. So yeah. Avoid the 11, 12, and 14. Grab the 13 for value, the 15 for a modern feel, or the 17 if you want the best experience without the Pro price tag. Hopefully this helped you guys out if you're confused about the upgrade path. Let me know in the comments which one you're rocking right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.